Hi, my name is Nick Russo, Senior Service Provider Solution Architect with Trend Micro, working closely with our MSP partners and their journey in Vision 1. In this video, we'll cover how to add additional context and detail to cyber risk exposure management for discovered assets, as well as the ability to discover user accounts through a third-party integration with Microsoft Entra ID. By making the connection to Entra, we gain additional visibility for assets already running the Trend Micro software, or discover unmanaged devices without protection, as well as user accounts for an organization for the purpose of providing risk scores to users. This can also enhance the identity security posture experience to highlight exposure risk events related to user configuration, attack detections, and identity behavior. We'll start by navigating to the end customer's tenant in Vision 1 for service providers, where we'd like to make the connection to their Microsoft Entra ID organization. Next, we'll go to Workflow and Automation, then Third-Party Integrations. In the list of available integrations, I'll click Entra ID, and we'll see that there are 5 available permission sets to grant. It's ideal when setting up this integration to configure all permissions, as there may be other Vision 1 solutions in the future that we'd like to deploy that have dependencies on this integration. I'll click the Grant Permissions link, and then enter the authentication information for the Entra organization that I'm integrating with. After successfully authenticating for each permission set, we'll be returned to the third-party integration setup page, and we should see that permissions have been granted. There's a link in the video description below that contains additional instructions for adding a password administrator role that's optional, however allows Vision 1 to take automated response actions when certain risk events are encountered. Now that we've made the integration to Entra, after allowing the system time to ingest information from Entra ID, we have a list of all user accounts from that organization. We'll also discover any additional devices that may not have a security solution deployed. For devices that may be running the Trend Micro Vision 1 sensor, we can also associate user login activity to devices that are part of the organization with this integration. Let's now look at some examples of risk information we'll uncover from this integration. I'll navigate to Attack Surface Discovery, then the Accounts tab, and in this list we now see the users identified from the integration, and for each user I also have a risk score. Where I see a higher risk score for a user, this is usually an indication that attention may be needed for that user. If I click into a user account, we'll see the various risk indicators that are contributing to that user's risk score. That could range from users that may be leaked on the dark web, users that have MFA disabled, or perhaps even excessive permissions. For each risk indicator, we'll provide a remediation recommendation to ensure that risk is addressed. Looking at this from a different lens, we can navigate to Identity Security Posture, where we have a different view across all users' accounts that have been discovered. I have an Identity Security Posture overview score that could be low, medium, high, etc., and priority risk events that should be addressed sooner rather than later to prevent a potential incident. Impersonation attempts, unusual work locations, and stale accounts may be highlighted here. We also provide an identity summary that gives information related to highly privileged identities, accounts in privileged security groups, and other information. We'll also highlight various exposure risk events, like user accounts with weak authentication, assets that can increase the attack surface, and accounts with excessive privileges. As I scroll down the page, we have our exposure summary with a number of exposure events related to the users in the environment. In the attack detection section, we have the ability to provide Microsoft Exchange Online attack indicators from our email XDR sensor, which we'll cover in a future video. Issues such as suspicious mailbox rules and forwarding all messages to an outside address could be identified here. Lastly, we have our identity behavior summary and events. Leaked accounts on the dark web or unusual access days can be identified in this section. These capabilities are available as part of the core CREM licensing and is based off the number of discovered devices in the environment. Therefore, identities and users discovered through the integration are included as part of all devices with no additional cost based on user count. If you have any questions about any of the information provided in this video, please let us know. Reach out to your account manager and we'll set up some time to work together. Thanks for watching this video, and we look forward to working with you on your journey in Trend Vision 1.